So, Chris Terrio, writer, dedicated pissed off in 2017 version. Honestly, I'm not surprised by that at all, because let's face it, the studio fucked that movie up in the very beginning. And honestly, it's not a shock to me. Hey, I'm in touch mode, and with League Screenwriter Chris Terrio, super pissed off. Yep. Now, doing you on top of it, when I do well know, I already snagged it. Snagged one of the best movies after this year. And yet, I know it's not perfect, far from no movie perfect. And even I know, but the fact Chris Terrio pissed off at the studio not really surprised me, and honestly, we should have been coming, and let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, that movie would have bombed in 2017 version. Snagger would have been far better. So, yeah, this should be fun. Again, what I mean by that? Well, you'll find out. By the way, this is probably the last time I talk about this crap for me. I'm tired of the drama, I'm tired of this bullshit. Yep. So, enjoy the show. See ya. Alright, as you can tell from my intro, so you can tell it's about this news. Why? You'll find out. Let's get started. According to the article I have at VanityFair.com yesterday, and I quote, League Screenwriter Chris Terrio super pissed off. Yep. Chris Terrio is not pulling puns anymore. For 5 years, the Oscar-winning screenwriter Argo kept his mouth shut his work on the DC Batman without judging judiciously, even as scorn from critics and fan I can't pronounce it, sorry. All my painful behind the scenes memories. Worst of all, he agreed with many of their complaints. He described the band WB with interfered in 2017 as ingoing misfires and undermined by corporate meddling. No shit! Even I knew that from the very beginning, and it was corporate and finance planning. Well, that's not true. Which again proves my point that WB know what the fuck they're doing. That's more. And told him to say that prior Cardi B about sequences over Cohen store day. Terry and next time directed cuts of both are much stronger, if still imperfectly and overall vindicated they work together. Yep. In an exclusive wide-ranging interview, the screenwriter said that Snyder recently a 4-hour plus event in HBO Max, writing a kind of cinematic wrong perpetrated by studio leadership that now almost entirely moved on from WB. Funny female actor with academic Terry said, Zach may be true of a gentleman, and said but I'm not. Which I agree. I really understand, because WB are actually like, what's face factor done? WB ain't give a damn about the minute that no. All that making money, and let's face it, they had no plan. It was bad leadership, bad planning, bad execution, and it made no sense. They tried to go mobile, it failed. Miserably. That's what you get in John. They were trying to drive me even with no plan. You fuck everything up. Did more. Terry said, quote, Terry first joined the DC Universe to rewrite existing Batman v Superman script because Batman actor, Director Argo, had qualms about the project. I think the studio brought me in to appease Ben Affleck because they thought, okay, well we had a movie star who was looking about doing this, so why don't we bring in his guy? Terry said. It's more. The screenwriter was flaming about trying to make sense of a film warning heroes turning their fight into a metaphor for a divided America. While attempting to fix elements he found too nonsensical or offensive, studio officials then demanded the 30-minute be removed from the outcome. Most likely because shorter runtime means more daily screenings, often resulting in higher box office earnings. Terry said that acts sabotage the narrative. No shit! And honestly, I suspected that at the beginning. No one if you're going to clutch the fuck. And that's pretty much Justice League 4 bad. Justice Scott. I hate that movie, you know. They did fix that movie. They had give motivation. It had to make sense. And I'm on his side. Like, fuck corporate. Fuck the studio. Studio assholes. And more. If you took 30 minutes out of Argo, as they were from Batman Superman, it would make zero sense at all. Critics would say, well, League Screenwriter, because they don't have motivation, I did not go hand to his set, and I would agree with them. Yep. And more. Even the title of Batman Superman was a disaster, he said. That planned audiences to roll their eyes at the film well before its release. Which makes sense, and honestly, I should know that name was not, but he tell you, no. That name I thought more was studio, but was corporate. Actually, what I'm saying, it was corporate at the beginning. There's more. Terry hoped that it would be a better experience, he was very, very wrong. After one Josh Whedon in the film, Terry was so disgusted that he explored taking his name off the movie, especially yelling with sideline Scofield tried to kill Starbuck, who the actor himself had helped crack. Fisher had been outspoken for months about his experience being judgically upon use of silence. Now Terry doing the same. He said part of his feeling about theatrical cut to avoid hurting the cast and crews, Now that's not until referred version to the public. Screenwriter finally opened about how it all went very, very wrong in the first place. Yep. Chris Terrio, I'm so happy to read in all the value of artists and craft people all over the world find how their works in the public, and all the work that Zack Snyder and the actors are put into can now be seen. It's sort of a gift that we got from HBO Max because it would have been possible years ago. Yep. When the first performance in the Aquaman story, obviously the character Iris was played by Chris Clemens, and in the Flash, certainly really fits it performing as Cyborg. It was always the hardest film to me, and just meant so much to me personally because as much of my heart and life were put into that story. That's the thing about this very objectively, that none of it was done cynically or money grab or trying to start having your toys. It really was personal for me and Zach and for many of the actors, which I approve. Yep, I support that 100%. Screw the studio. More. It's true you were banned, Majestically said. Terry said, I quote, I wouldn't say I was banned. The studio attitude was, we'll take it from here. I was funny shocked when I saw Snyder Cut and saw how much the script was shot. With some small revisions, they shot the script, and I stand something about for Zach. Which makes sense. Let's face back right now. This movie was in development hell for nearly a decade. People wanted this movie. Well, scratch it up. Well, hardcore Zack Snyder wanted the movie. I was not part of that movement because that movement did kind of get insane and toxic over the decade. But honestly, that's the middle of it, and I don't want to piss people off, but you have a point. People want that version, and honestly, we got the thing we got. Did more. How do you feel with the version Josh Whedon someone at the project? When they put the title removed from the film 2017 version, I was silent because I couldn't really say anything. But of course it hurts. All that remained was Dino Skeleton, what had been a great rumbling beast. It might have been a big, unruly beast. Obviously, it's 4 hours, and the movie is maximus and operatic, and sure, you're crazy, but I think the movie is crazy in the best way. True, and I did that make sense. Your movie is crazy in the best way. Look, Chris Terrio, I don't want to hate the guy. The guy does make some good points. Then more. Can we start against Zach? You work with Batman Superman. I can't assume that was a good experience, at least with him since signing that movie. But Abbott called me and said that he was working on this film, which was a Superman film in which he was going to play Batman. So he asked if I would read the script and consider doing a rewrite. He asked if I would do some character work, so it would always determine the storyboard that Batman was going to be trying to kill Superman, and Batman was going to have to go down a dark road. He would blend in criminals and had certain dark elements that were non-negotiable and always in the story. Oh, so the old Batman killing himself wasn't entirely his fault. That was more of a studio mandate. That makes sense the more I think about it. Look, I'm not a fan of Batman killing. In fact, I hate Batman killing. But the more I think about it, this does have to make sense when I think about it, especially from a story perspective, at least from this perspective. Well, when I hate it, it happened. Good more. What did I want to do? My job was to create a story and tell really in which Batman could be that person, and in which two heroes can get to the point where they're fighting to death. Okay, I don't like that approach, but whatever. What was the approach? I came into thinking the only way that this could work is at a fever dream or at an event trade. I thought, how do we create a story in which Bruce was traumatized by the war of Krypton coming to Earth, in which he entered into this kind of madness, he becomes Captain Ahab, and we won't listen to Santa voices, like Alfred. For example, who was telling him the death series he's a man possessed. So the film was dark by nature. As I worked on the movie, it seemed to me that it was a snapshot of what I was feeling on the ground in the country. Okay? Which maybe didn't become apparent until the madness and division that came about from the last presidency. That was the Trump presidency. I'm so tired of politics in front of me. But you know what? Politics were always about murder, so not surprised there. But it's more. I thought Superman could be about getting to worth nature, but then coming out of that into redemption. Fair enough. I get that approach, but honestly, that approach really didn't make sense to me for that movie. Maybe because I'm done apologizing that bullshit, but I do understand where he's coming from. That's more. What do you want to avoid? I didn't want to make it a sitcom joke that Batman's are trying to kill each other. If I'm going to work on this movie, It's going to be a dark and operatic and going to be uncomfortable. Zack and I come for the approaches to filmmaking, but I immediately like them because he is cynical and wears his heart on his sleeve. I'm cynical enough for any room that I enter into. Okay. Interesting at the perspective. You're the writer, and more. How do you develop from there? I wrote John Batman Justice movie which isn't called Batman Justice to me. I did not name the script. In fact, I found out that movie was called along with the rest of the world on the internet. I would not consult on the title of the film. I was as surprised as anyone. I would have not named Batman Justice. No shit. Was that Zach's choice? I don't know exactly who named it, but I suspect it was the studio. I suspect it was marketing. To be honest with you, it might have been the first step toward creating ill will for the film. I suspect that putting the word Batman Superman into the title as a marketing component to it. It did! And it didn't do well. Anymore. I think that title did rub people the wrong way. I heard it and I thought it just sounds so important, cruise in a way, tone deaf. The intent of the film was to do something interesting and dark and complex, not quite Las Vegas, bust them up, dirty Madison Dodgy. One comment in a way, just sounds so important, cruise in a way. How do you feel about the movie with the release? I thought the script was completed, but it turns out when you remove the 40 minutes that gives the character more minutes for the comic, the film doesn't work. As you learn for the tragically, you can't skip on the character and think the audience give a shit about VFX. That stuff would rather restore an extended version. I guess it's called Ultimate Edition Remastered, which don't implement much. So, the hundred cards have been built in order to motivate the crowd between American two favorite heroes made no sense to me at all. That was what happened with Batman v Superman. The movie was always going to be dark. There would always be people who just didn't see that version of the comic world. I get that, but what hurt was the criticism that the script was not coherent, because I turned in the script to the studio, which they all kept happy with. It made sense. The studio fucked that movie up. But look, if I go to the article, we'll be here all day. In fact, we are talking about Superman stuff. So you know what? We're gonna skip ahead. Sorry about it first. There's more. How do you feel enjoying any energetic upheaval? I went into depression when the film was taken away and rewritten, but I didn't even feel entirely to be depressed because Zach and Debbie, Snyder's wife and co-producer, would deal with fan charity. Measured against that, losing the film that you wrote seemed like nothing at all, but it did hurt. It hurts to think that I cared so much about this character and worked on nothing else for a very long time. Well, that sucks. I really bad for Terry. You don't do this shit. And more. Did you feel tired and cuts for the made it hard for people to appreciate things that did work and that was it? That's exactly right. The audience had to know how that they were in good hands. The minute that you root them from a story point of view, they root that to look generously. Once the critics decide a movie is incoherent, it's a pylon, then they attack everything that there is a line in the beginning of a film when a war set the world's reign. They didn't tell me anything with a lady and was probably not letting them generate. Someone really hard proof positive my stupidity and my ability to write wrote at all. When the character was when we found generate more and Coleman was cutting short Syria, she wanted more intelligent and ever lived in my opinion. And it started being fair and complaining. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I don't want to talk about it because that's a mess. More. Not compared to science, did you feel what you given too heavy? Did you feel blame on that? Studios seem to take position at the BBA that my writing was too dark and that they're the problem, but what they didn't mention was that, for example, the job of Superman script that WB had developed, which was a job I was handling when I joined the party, but went out with Brendan Cooner with the background, but also ending the movie with Brendan October. Then I went to the point without explicitly went to the mat and the studio again and again. I argued the Batman Cooner and the movie coming the behavior, which torture, and because then the movie was endorsing what he did. Which makes sense in my thing about in general. Honestly, let's face it, that's no WB bullshit. And honestly, I suspect that maybe WB would do this shit because they don't give a damn about making a good movie. No, all you're making money. And guess how that's in there? Got blew up in their face. Literally, yep. You went for the better. I'm really fun to work for one thing, just thinking about after the amateur to the film that after the movie to grapple with what that battle meant. So that didn't seem like character instrument intervening. What? anyway, without looking at the content intervention. I played in the content and more questions to myself, thinking what could happen and thinking what did. So you can take part in the African country called Yemen and manipulate having their two American mercenaries trying to provoke comfort and friends human. Also, once we the film show the people what we can choose on the crossfire. What's anti-political is not a loss on me that much like a drone, human soul comes from out of nowhere from the sky, make enemies and fall over the continent. That may not be an English instrument that people want to see and want to think about. Okay, they already BBS, you know BBS stuff, and we have time for this, so yeah, I'm gonna skip it. Sorry, folks. Yeah, if I go to argue, we'll be able to, but we don't have time for that. Yep, so I'm gonna skip it. Sorry, folks. Yep. Yeah, here's the thing with because they were judge agree with you, go. Give me your concern of BBS structure inherited. Why did you sign judge agree? I agreed to write judge agree because I want the chance to write this character with Robin Hood at the game through the darker Batman Superman. The end of my version of Batman Superman includes Bruce seeing the error of his ways and probably the change. A return of constant and having an ethical nightmare, and judge agree Bruce does do better. Yep, which actually makes sense. And the more thing I do with the Snyder judge agree, that explains why Batman at the world went through the dark place. Yeah, he's killing people. Yes, I don't want that after that point. That's annoying me. But you know what? If it's part of that story, if it really that he fucked up, then I'm on board with the story. And that makes sense. So, you know what? That idea is very cool. That's a good story. In theory. Execution-wise, it was kind of all over the place. But then again, WB fucked that movie over. Like I said, it will be all there. So, let's get to the chase. When the top of Judge Agree said, yep. After Batman Jane came out, the critic was negative, and the box office was underwhelming. Judge Agree was about to begin shooting. What would the atmosphere like then? Yep. There was a mood of fear at the studio, no doubt. My impression was that the people in the boardroom started making decisions after they were decisions based on arbitrary metrics that had nothing to do with the story they were being told. No shit. What gave you that sense? Way before the time about Batman vs Superman, I was asked to attend an event in New York where the cast and the filmmakers were paraded, I can't pronounce it, sorry. Front of the room, invested at the Time Warner Center. I got to convince them that the money was in good hands. What happened there? These guys were in charge because they controlled money at the very top of the pyramid. They were making the decision not the film executive we're talking about, but Wall Street guys. Figures. Well, I'm not surprised. It's all about the money, baby. Cha-ching. I know, with comedy, but you gotta admit it is kind of sad and funny that the Wall Street guys were really after the money. Makes sense. Anymore. One guy who can only describe the man of central captaincy you when you're trying to catch the douchebag number one, pulled me aside and started telling me how to write Batman. I'm not naive. I know that if you don't want to have any back and forth with money people, then you should write poetry because you don't have $100 million. Something about the distributive power at that time just seemed off to me, and it was moving even to pretend the capital wasn't calling the shots. Yep. What images do you tend to have on your wedding? I use Judge Agree to lighten the mood a little bit, which became Zach's Judge Agree. That is a slight rewriter, but less dense for the script, which I was fine with. I'm saying I play with those kind of notes. Yep. So that's how we shot the script with having active fan credit telling the lead, project, and WB Bond Jackson reshoot. Yep. When the movie was taken away, that felt like it was some director that's come from people who are not a filmmaker nor film friendly. The director to make the movie under 2 hours, regardless of what the movie needed to do, and to make the color bright and have funny sitcom joke in it. Fuck. No wonder Judge Agree could be corrupt over in 2017 because Studio Madness fucked that movie over. Without suspecting very beginning for the very start anymore. Zach told me it was then WB chairman Kevin Tsuchihara, I can't pronounce it, mandated that it be under 2 hours and more comedic. Yeah, that's what I heard also. I've never had any direct with Tsuchihara as far as I can tell on the black at the very top side of the order of the films. I was not consulted on the order of the films, even though I was the person who wanted Judge Agree. They just determined that it was going to be Batman vs Superman, then Wonder Woman, then Judge Agree, and then Aquaman. So there was no any thought how the world was constructed for the edit. They said confirm to the schedule. Oh, so there was no plan at the very beginning. Shocking! I know! But honestly, what did you expect? Like, I knew it! The second the movie went out, there was no clear direction. There was no plan. So, fuck it! What the, I think, made Batman vs. Superman and Wonder Woman in the right? Don't get me wrong. Wonder Woman is a great movie. I love that movie. That movie is fantastic. One of the best DCEU movie I have ever movie made. But, looking back at it, that thing more of a standalone movie than after sequel. Or prequel. So, in a way, this feels more like the made no sense. What did I prove my point? That one was that we have no clear plan with DCU. There was no plan. It just fuck it. What do whatever with no continuity. That made continuity make sense. Translation? No, it didn't. It made no fucking sense. Whatever. Like I said, we'll be able to talk that crap and more. Spend out the complicated things. Wonder Woman script wasn't finished when I was objectively, so I had no bid to like Wonder Woman other than Batman vs. Superman. Batman script didn't even exist. I never showed anything on the page for it. I didn't know whether people could talk underwater. That was the thing that I had to ask because I didn't know if I could do underwater scene with Aquaman and Atlanteans. It was all just from scratch because there had been no solo character films. So just we need to establish 3 other characters. You have to create a long game mythology for DC Universe. You have to resurrect Superman because he was dead at the end of the last movie. I just don't know how you could tell all that in the 2 hours, minute 20 we proved that you couldn't. No shit. Which, honestly, in my opinion, makes sense. Good boy. Snyder, of course, went down by Jeff Johns won Justice every day, which was a mandate from strategic babysitter Snyder. As he put it, what was your issue with them? Look, I admire Jeff as a writer at DC Comics. He's been nice to me, and it's a pretty cool relationship. As an executive, you get into very foreign territory, and when you have a president who's a writer who also made executive decision on sitting in the chair where on everything the way would happen. So I think Malaki and Zach shot as much of my script as he did because I know that there was constant pressure to simplify the change to do whatever it is the studio wanted and because they were unwilling that they didn't want this version. Which, honestly, that does kind of make sense in the because Jeff, he's a writer. Plus, he had a good relationship with Terrio. And as I mentioned before, I don't blame Jeff Johns. No. He was putting at 40 points with WB. Like, don't blame him. Blame the higher up. Like, the higher but he messed everything up. Like, Jeff Johns had nothing to do with this crap. And for better or for worse, I respect Jeff Johns. I respect the guy. The guy we'll talk to us someday. And I really do want to do an interview with Jeff Johns someday because that would be pretty cool. Because he's a nice guy. And look at the artist mandate. This did more like studio mandate. Did more. The main job with the actors. I want anybody to the set, but obviously I know Ben and I got to know Wade Fisher. We developed separate together. Wade came to my apartment in East Village, and he and I just want to talk, take long walks, and talk about Cyber and Spider-Man playing the first black superhero in the movie on screen. That was a big responsibility that we both understood and took very seriously. Remember I did it before Black Panther. There obviously have been some black superheroes over the years, but none depicted with such a budget and such scale and such a mainstream way. Cyber is one character who can't disguise himself, he lives in his skin, his otherness, I can't pronounce that, sorry, is a constant fact of his life, and that to me, in a way, and I discussed this, speak about being a black man in America. You cannot remove the otherness that people force upon you, and therefore Cyber, when he becomes the hero that he always should have been, and was meant to be, that felt like something really strong, we want the world to see. Which I approve. Yep. Well, any other performance, did you show any of them? I talked to Jeremy on the phone. It called my Gal Gadot, which she would write to me and say, "This doesn't seem quite right for the character. What do you think?" And it was all really good relationship where all the world would be biased by the actors. Aww, that's sweet. Yay! Good boy. When starting with the product, that would affect the interview of always, that right? That's right. I would always hear occasional reports about the reshoots. I didn't realize how much the film was going to be changed or vandalized, in my opinion. It became clear as I spoke to the actors that it was a wholesale dismantling of what had been there before. I did not hear from anyone who said it was a pleasant experience. It probably wasn't a pleasant experience, it could be crushed the fuck, and honestly, that makes sense in my opinion, especially with WB bullshit, because, let's face facts, the 2017 movie was made by WB. It was not made by Chris Terrio, not made by Snyder, not made by... It was made by different rights here, made by Josh Whedon and all this bullshit, which, I say I'd cut it better and more. Will you heard any of my documentary amendment to say? I probably shouldn't get into that. I never met Josh. I don't know him. I did reach out from him at the beginning of the process, though, to executive, but I didn't hear about it, which is not unusual. Wait, what? Wait, so Terry did not know what the hell happened after with the Josh Whedon stuff? Huh. That's interesting and one thing about it, and very, very actually fascinating. Interesting. Very interesting. There's more. When did you watch it very gently? I was in LA at the time working on Star Wars Skywalker, which, God almighty, that movie sucked! Like, the rest of that trailer at the bed. That movie, all the studio man, they all to crap the fucking end. I said that crap the better. Yep. I was on the west side one day, working on it, but at the time, I drove to the studio. I sat there and watched a couple of weeks before release. I immediately called my lawyer and said I wanted to take my name out of the film. The lawyer then called WB and told them that I wanted to do that. Why didn't you? Prints have only been stuck on hard drive, burned, or borrowed during the movie these days. The elements were on their way, and to remove my name will have had to restructure the print or redo digital copies, and the film could be delayed. It would be an internet scandal, and news stories are shut up, and I said nothing publicly. I never said anything about Dr. since then, but the movie doesn't represent my work. Makes sense, especially even what the fuck. What happened after that? For all I know, I wouldn't invite you to premiere, I never watched the film again. I have to do the exact same thing if I can't get money out of a train wreck. There's more. Something that was the big plumbing, and then so my delay, it kind of poured into your reputation, does it? Terry said, quote. Yeah, I heard your reputation, but more importantly, pouring it into your soul and your confidence, especially when the film wasn't seen. Yep. So, and now it has been seen. People do have a problem with this brand of film. They'll quibble with the length, they'll quibble with the way that some characters are written, but that I can take because that is the accuracy of my work. That's fair game, that I'll engage with any day. People can quarrel with the movie, but at least they're quarreling with my version and Zach's version of the film. Yep. Do you feel like that nobody made your scapegoat studio? Terry said, I'm a deeply paranoid person, so I'm always assuming that everyone had it for me. Judging the Zack Snyder version is the one script other than Argo I have so wide credit on. I really did develop this so I can stand by this version, whoever hate it. Yep. When you're working on the horizon, I won't talk about quite yet, but a small film that I'm doing with Amazon. I'm getting back to small character in the world where I don't have any financial issues that I'm difficult to grapple with in the past. That's really helping to regroup myself and myself why I like the right film. Yep. And that thing I went on. So, okay, Tony picked out at the WB, and WB made a scapegoat, and there's no WB and that bullshit that destroyed his version of the movie. And these are going to be by the WB on my assholes and on my hypocrites. Yep. Yeah, that one. So, my father, as you well know, I always started this. Started out my favorite movie after it came out this year. It's better, it's a way better movie, way more paid, after it had a good story to it, after it had the brain that's spawned to it, after it had a good brain to it. And prove one again, I started the way you went to with that version of the movie. So the Batman Terror is calling out basically the studio and that bullshit makes me happy. Why? Let's face it, the studio had no idea what they're doing at the beginning. And the 20th degree, this movie is abomination and garbage. It was a bad movie, it was crap the fucking a mess, and dear God, it was a nightmare to watch. And looking back at it, it's just a complete nose out how bad the movie was. What a shame, we dedicated us with the best character, that DC biggest team. You don't fuck this up. But WB and the asshole ruined that movie, and the rest of the 20 minutes. So fuck that movie, and let's take move off from that abomination. We're finding the real version, and let's do it from a Sonic as a whole. Now, do I agree with everything that Terry said about this article and everything that he said, about this situation? Looking at all the madness that happened, I'm on Terry's side for once, because honestly, let's face facts, ladies and gentlemen. This movie was sabotaged at the beginning, and there was no clear plan. WB had no plan whatsoever. Let's face that. They tried to make they're trying to call it Marvel. Problem is, though, there was no plan. They said, fuck it, let's do whatever the hell you want with no continuity. This could explain all the 99 with the Solo movie. There's also one the Flash movie and at the after degree, and there's also been some other movies on that at the before I didn't want no plan. They had no plan. Heck. Because let's face fact right now, WB actually run by hacks by idiots who try to make you military with no plan. And during the interview I made for, what they said, there was no clear plan actually for this movie. This movie was only made in the order to try to Marvel. It failed miserably because it's going to be balanced with the 101 and then Justice League and then Aquaman, so there's no any fact the world will be shredded before they issue that edit. There's confirmed the schedule. And this is again the point that the DCU, there was no plan. Just say, fuck it. What do you want? Whatever the hell you want to make this movie with no clear direction. Which again actually makes it actually from their perspective, but from a human perspective, it makes no sense. Like, newsflash, you can't make it without a clear plan. And there was no plan. So fuck it. What do we have no consequence? And this again proven when the studio actually did not know what they were doing, and WB needs and made a restructure with the leadership. We got to tell her today. Now, I thought everything for the article in from Terrio and all this stuff. Do I agree with everything he said? Yes and no. I do agree that not with no political bullshit. I kind of apologize that crap, but I do agree that his film was sabotaged at the beginning. It was sabotaged, destroyed, and WB had to destroy his movie and destroy his movie, and it was a complete mess. And for Jeff John's development, he is definitely in my head. I'm returning, but he said, quote, look, I met Jeff at the YG College. He's been nice to me, and I Corey Racer as executive. You got into very foreign territory, which when you have a president who would all demand a decision, sitting in the chair where on a certain way would have been. So I mean, Marcus exactly in my script as he did, because I know that there's kind of pressure to simply the team to do whatever the studio wanted because they're rumbling that they didn't want this vision. Yeah, right. I like Jeff John or Harry Will. I think he's a good writer, and honestly, I'm with Terrio in this one because it's not his fault. No. This is more being higher than Jeff John or John Bird. Right? They had nothing to do with this crap. That was not their fault. This was more the studio managed from the higher up, like Suji and his nonsense. And this is more like Wall Street assholes. And given the way after the film came out at the complete mess, this was more corporate than an actual ability of writing. And in a way, he's kind of right, because let's face that. Like, this is more ability made by stock asshole ability or studio ability corporate suits who all care about money, not care about storytelling. And given the movie that we released in 2017, they think that people by the studio assholes should not be controlling story. Writing and directors should be controlling story, not the other way around. Like, if a movie sucked, it sucked. Like, if it run my studio or the editor did not know what they're doing, they need to tell their story. Some of the movie did not work, and like I said before, we'll be here all day if I tell all this crap. But the point is, Terrio's right about this 100% with studio man fucking this movie over, and the kind of people that they didn't know what the fuck they're doing. Now, what did this have to do with everything that came out of the madness? Answer. Basically, when all said and done, we got the movie we got, and I do respect Terrio. I do respect the guy, even though I don't watch some of the lines, but the recent movie with Bobby Studio Marvel, the Creep Mad. That's not his fault. Everyone's studio mandated. Tragically, I think the new one thing would go out the movie. Rise Skywalker was just bad, but Rise Skywalker that did maybe damage control by Disney. And I do wish the guy walking in the future with all the other movies. And I do hope we wish him to be better in the next movie. Now, I thought everything came out of madness. What would then be done to WB? Answer: nothing. Nothing can happen with WB. Let's face it. WB is all my corporate assholes. And at this point, we can do. So, prepare for worse. I respect the guy. I do respect the guy a lot. I do want him to do well. Basically, move on. And when you get through all this bullshit. And what these people did to him, that's just wrong, fucked up. So, let's just hope for the future and see what the future is going to be at the Snyderverse. Jarvis Snyder will be restored. Probably not, no, because let's face it, a lot of people are gone right now. They probably left the studio, and I don't blame Terrio or Snyder because they have to get destroyed by the studio bullshit. But at this point, nothing to do. So until the more information about that, this video is going on. Let's just hope the best. Plan with and pray to God we have to see the future. But until then, we ends. Now, as for my final madness, my final, fuck corporate, fuck the studios, and let's just hope in general I think we see the future, a good DC fan future, like the Justice League, and some other good movies come out, particularly of the DC film rocket. But knowing WB bullshit, they're gonna fucking video anyway. Then again, this is a movie where there was no plan whatsoever with the DCU. The DCU had no plan. Heck. Because what Terrio is saying is true, and that the DCU was made out of a house of sand, not house basically of foundation. And it did it legit with actually for it legit that fuck this unit was fucked from the very beginning. There was no clear direction, there was no plan, and they again moving my WWE don't know what the fuck they're doing. So fuck it. What did make no plan and see what happens. We go out here in failure. And they just got movement point. WWE know what the fuck they're doing. So, but bad, but what did you make? It's gonna be dead away. So I'm gonna enjoy that. I think I'm gonna like Captain Marvel. Bring back his well, so I made Captain Marvel. 1 and 3. I may check it out, even though I'm sure it's disappointing. Could be train wreck. New Batman. I'm gonna check it out. But than that, everything I just skip because they had no clear direction, no plan. So fuck it. Let's just wait see what happens. As for the Snyderverse, will Snyder be restored? Who knows? Maybe we'll restore, I doubt it. But until we cross that bridge, what do we chance? And since there's no clear roadmap, fuck it. Let's see what happens in the future. And this is an improvement point that they know we'll put whatsoever. But until then, what do we chance? But you want to talk? I don't. Don't worry about this. You're going to super pissed off. We are kind of much here about this interview. Do you like it? Do you read it? Also, how do you guys know we had no real plan? And how do you feel about this whole crazy madness? Put your comment below. I'm also on Facebook, on Twitter. Put your comment channel for Superstar. Book at the bell card. The album song story. Play as you can. Tell long live. Good movie. See ya. Chris Terrio. Wish you luck, man. See ya. Bye. Bye.